All I'm saying is if she has more to lose going into this situation, you need to operate like you have more to lose. If you
Don't
working
he
on
got money to lose?
if you working at Goldman Sachs in the investment banking division,
Uh-huh.
you out of school, you working at Goldman Sachs in the investment banking division, you know that on the weekend, it's not in your best interest to go outside and do something stupid. Don't go get a felony. Don't go get yourself in trouble because you know you have more to lose than the girl that's working the front at McDonald's. So as someone that has more to lose, that's in a higher position, that is how you need to live. That is how you need to operate. You
Look at
can't
Diddy. Diddy
you
got a
can't
lot of
be
money to lose, but look at he popping out another one with a 28-year-old. He knew now he got to pay her. Like people know what they do. They're doing. They're adults. They're
you
adults.
can't
Like they weigh their losses and be like, F it.
Britt, you not going Britt. You know that as someone that's in a certain position that has stuff to lose, you know when you have more to lose, you are going to move a certain way. You are going to you can't look you can't be someone that has you actually have stuff to lose and then you operate like you don't when you operate like you don't have something to lose, you try to point the finger and blame it on the other person.
It's not wise, but people are mutually responsible for the actions that they commit when having sex unprotected. Like they're mutually responsible. So it's up to you to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have sex with Pookie, And it's up to homeboys to say maybe I shouldn't have sex with Keisha, and I'm a partner at a hedge fund. I mean, but it's up to you to make those silly ass decisions. And if
Okay.
you make it, you have to deal with the consequences. That's
So
all.
Britt, if she slept with Ladarius Raw, but she knows that she shouldn't have slept with Ladarius Raw. She knows she doesn't want to have a baby, not only by Ladarius, but she doesn't want to have a baby. How many forms of contraceptions does she have? What can she
She
how
has she has
what can she do
several.
to prevent her having a baby?
Step one, she can use a condom.
And if she doesn't use a condom, how many other forms of contraceptives does she have to
I mean,
prevent
she
her
has
getting
other forms, but those are debatable because they have a lot of side effects, and men don't have to bear those side effects because they
so
complained in the test trials.
so
They said the
now
same side effects that women endure that they didn't want to endure having some type of birth control for men.
Britt, so she does not want to have a baby for Ladarius. She's in no position to have a baby for Ladarius. So now she's about to bring little Keontae into the world, and Ladarius is not going to be in little Keontae's life. She's not in any position to even take care of Keontae in the next 9 months to a year. So now we bringing Keontae into the world at a super big disadvantage, right? And that's
Hmm.
okay. So we just gonna continue to do that, right?
No, I think that's not okay. I just think there were a lot of steps before we even got here. There were a lot of wrong decisions made before we even got here, including what I talked about earlier, how culturally we don't protect our women enough with our men in our family, not just the fathers, if the father is absent, but the brothers, the cousins, the uncles, and everything. They don't even create some type of filtering or vetting process to keep men like Pookie away from Keisha so that they don't even get in the room alone with Keisha. Like we need way more steps before we get to, oh my God, I'm pregnant by Pookie.
Britt, is Keisha more attracted to Ladarius or is she more attracted to John?
I can't speak. I really can't speak for any each person. Like I can't. Like that would be like a reach for me to say who
Britt,
somebody is
Britt,
attracted
Britt,
to.
Britt, Britt, Britt. Are most younger black women are they more attracted to the guy that he be outside every weekend, every Friday and Saturday? He's out, he at the section, he's standing on the couches, he's sagging his pants, he's still sagging his pants in 2023. He got an LV belt on, he smelled like gravel leaf, Are they more attracted to that guy that got a bankroll? He got a bankroll, right? Because he don't got a bank account. He got a bankroll. He just walked around with cash on him, and he put his cash in a shoebox in the pillowcase. Are they more attracted to that guy, or are they more attracted to the guy that like does the investment banking and got he got health insurance and dental? What are they more attracted to when they're younger?
I mean,
What
my friends.
who's the
Listen,
more fun guy? Who's the more fun guy? Who's the more fun guy? Who's the guy that's more thrilling?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might not be the person to answer this because none of my friends don't like that. Like, I'm just not around. Those are not my girls. So I'm like I'm running. Like I'm good, but maybe somebody else will feel that way. But me and my girls never. That's a he don't got any real money in our eyes. I'm not. I know that sounds bad. I shouldn't say that.
Okay,
I shouldn't say that. But
you're
in our eyes, we wouldn't have seen him. We wouldn't have seen him as someone who
yeah,
has real money, so we
yeah,
wouldn't be attracted to
yeah,
him.
you listen, you're doing what a lot of women do. You know what the answer is, but you're trying to put it on you and your
No,
friend.
I know the stereotype that you're trying to portray to me, but I'm just saying I can't answer for that because me and my black women friends just don't come from that type of celebration of those type of men. We just don't. I'm sorry, I don't want to. I don't want it to sound bougie, so I'm watching my words. So I just feel like I can't. I'm not the person to answer that because I would never. I would never look at someone like that and be like, I just
You
wouldn't. Like, I just would not.
okay, you and your friends would not, but what
No,
are most 25-year-old black women what do okay, let me ask you
I
this.
only
Let
know
me
my
ask you this.
friends.
Let
I
me
don't know
ask
the
you
other
this. Let me
ones.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is Ladarius and Keontae and Jamonte and Javante and Kiari, are those the guys that they deal with until
Someone
they
said
get
you've been
dogged out?
bougie this whole time. Okay.
Are are those the guys that they deal with until they get dogged out and become single mothers, and then they want to go deal with John and Eric and Ernie and Tom when they got little peanut head Keenan and his sister, and they got all this trauma and pain. Would I be accurate in saying that that's what happens most of the time or a lot of the time?
um, it's hard to say because I feel as if John, even with his square ass, can be a deadbeat dad, and like you don't see that coming either. And I've seen that happen to people. So I don't know. Like I would hate to stereotype what a deadbeat dad looks like because there are even many reports of like actual like black dads that are in their children's lives are way more active than any other demographic of fathers. So I would hate to say that just because he looks a certain way or he acts a certain way, that he's going to be a deadbeat dad or he's going to leave you hanging. And that's a stereotype that's really charged toward black men. And I don't feel like it's fair. So I would hate to say that that's true. So yeah, I would say no.
Family planning is non-existent in the black community. True or false?
Yeah, it's true.
Why?
Yeah, that's true. It's very rare. The fact that I decided when to have my children was just rare. And I that was that's interesting. Um I feel why I feel as if marriage isn't prioritized in our community anymore and people make a lot of excuses for it. And I feel like a lot of black women don't actually know how to date anymore and vet, and we deal with BS in dating, and we feel like that's what we're supposed to deal with because that's what's being pushed to us. Well, that's what we see. It's a lot of baby mama culture that we see on social media, and we think it's normal, and we think that's what we should aspire to. And so, unfortunately, we don't know how to vet and we don't know how to um, look for a husband or be strict in looking for a husband. And that leads us to being single moms because And we're like, well, I want to have a kid, so if I'm not going to get married, then he'll be a great dad, and not considering what's going to be a great husband as well. So the
But
family planning is out of the window.
but